Lay Ill Kid at OneYoungsta, holding it down, breathing, Street Geek and Nerd Soul. What is up, my people? Today all year, coming with another wonderful episode of That's Right, You Best Believe It. I ain't telling you no lies. That's right. Nerd Soul on screen. We're talking about TV, movies, all that jazz. I'm your host, Nerd Soul, but I'm not by myself. You best believe right over here we have the cinematic sorcerer, Solar Gray. Say what's up.
Hey, why, hello, my friends. Hello, everyone. I'm here to talk about mischief and philosophy and storytelling and all of that stuff. Because y'all asked for it. And y'all were like, hey, we'll get Solar back on. And I'm like, seriously?
They did ask for it.
So, yeah, y'all asked for it. Y'all getting it. All right?
This is what they wanted. This is
so
what
I'm going
y'all
to say
asked
don't
for.
at me. Yeah, but at me. That's fine. That's fine.
I did want to give a big shout out to last week, and we've been putting out the different parts from it. Everyone who attended the rent party, who was part of the rent party, who did anything at all, sharing something, being there, watching, whatever. Thank you for the love on the rent party. Much love to Jason Reeves, 133 Art, Quinn McGowan of Legends Press and Project Wildfire. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Thank you. Especially all the Patreon supporters, the super chatters that came through, and the cash appers that came through on the day of the show, which was last Saturday on Juneteenth. So thank you. You guys are awesome. Love all y'all. So with that said, we here to talk about Loki, episode 2, The Variant, and episode 3, Lamentis. I might be messing it up, but anyway.
No, you got it right.
All right, cool. Because we had the Black Dad's Father's Day last week, so I was like, we ain't gonna do no show. We're gonna chill, and then now we're gonna catch up. So today we will be getting into.
We talked. We talked
a little bit. But I want to get into episode 2 and 3, and we can talk about them co-equally at the same time, all that stuff. And if you're in the chat, thank you for rolling through. Go in and tell us your favorite parts, your most hated parts, whatever. We'll get into all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
do we want to start with a recap?
I mean, sort of, but not really, because if you're here, you've seen the episode. I assume. You know what I'm saying? This is not a shot for shot recap show. We don't do that. We more so get into the characters and what we think is going on and all that. But we can recap a little bit because we are jumping back to episode 2. So we can recap a baby bit.
I can see episode 2, Loki gets the job, he's hanging out on the job, and he's being himself. The most important thing, and this is not a joke, but it's gonna sound like one, jet skis. Okay.
Okay.
I know it sounds weird, but it's a very important thing given what happened in the next episode. So
yeah.
We find out that I was right. I was absolutely right all along. I knew it was not a man.
You're right.
I said it on air. It is on record. I'm like, no, it's a woman. It's a woman. I see how it's going. So
I have been wondering one thing, because they've been using the word enchant a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering if this is... Well, I mean, I guess the timekeepers are all knowing, I guess, sort of. So, I mean, I guess they know whether it's Lady Loki or not. But I'm wondering if this is really just Enchantress instead of Lady Loki, because they've been using the word enchantment a lot.
Given how Marvel has been mixing up a lot of different things with characters and origins of characters, it would not shock me. Especially because as I watch the Thor trilogy, I'm like, where's she at? Where's Thor's other bae? He's got 3.
Thor's other bae. Look, are we going to consider Enchantress a bae?
She wants to be there. She wants to be his bae.
She's
and he's
dangerous.
Like, I ain't into you, girl. I ain't into you. Quit calling me. Okay, what about Thor's Felicia? All right, what about Thor's Felicia? Because it's Jane Foster is number 1. Sif is a very close number 2.
True.
And then you got Sylvie going, hey, hot blonde, right over
where
here.
You at?
You're like, nah, girl, you crazy.
Like
I'm
cool.
crazy, and I got to think for minutes.
Cool on that.
So yeah, let's have some meat and break some glasses.
Man, it's I'm cool on that. I don't need none of that. I'm fine.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
But
but
yeah,
yeah,
so
he's
they're using the
working.
words, they got the color, they
Mm-hmm.
got the powers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. One thing that I was a little disappointed in is they are making it very clear that she's a variant. So I
Mm-hmm.
guess, so I'm like, I would have preferred it had she been Asgardian from a different dimension, but I'm
Okay.
old. I'm old, so
He's like,
I'm
but
just
I'm
kind of
old.
going, yeah, I'm old, so I'm just like, don't stray too far from what I already know. What scares me, and it seems like a lot of energy to learn more.
Yeah, and okay, all right, because I didn't really like episode 2. Well, no, hold on. There are things about episode 2 that I like. Because shouts to
Okay.
Jess and King. Jess and King came through and she was like, I don't like episode 2. But episode 3, that's good. So I'll say there's parts of episode 2 that I liked. I do like the set design. I do like the conversations about like the inner workings of the TVA.
Okay.
I love seeing Ruby, period. Like Ghost MKC says, I like it all so far. I like how old boy gave him a knife, gave him his knife, and she was like,
right?
That was exactly like a black mama. A black mama you'd be like, oh, you can have this. Nope, he can't.
And I want to point out a real black mama, not the black mama stereotype.
Yeah,
because it was like,
not the
yeah,
stereotype.
here's your thing. And she just materialized out of nowhere, like, yoink, you ain't getting me.
She was like,
There was no
no.
yelling, no screaming, no hit, none of the head wobbling. It was just like,
just
ain't
being like,
that.
nope, nope.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I thought that was cool.
Hey, you don't get them knives,
Him trying to, I guess, reconnect to his, I don't know, inner self or whatever to try to find the other Loki. I do enjoy that. But there was something about episode 2 that I was just like, all right. You know what I'm saying? Well, I still think I'm enjoying this more. I still think I'm enjoying this more than WandaVision.
Okay.
But that's because I had a huge issue with the first 2 episodes. But here in episode 2, what I think was the strongest that still kept me around was him trying to figure outsmart his own self kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Like, I think that was a cool part where he was like, all right, hold on. Okay, what if I do this? Or what if it's that? Or, it's the apocalypses that are going on and stuff. So figuring that out and then finding,
I thought that was rather clever. I really
because, them going and then being like, I can do whatever I want here.
It's like, well, just move a butterfly. Wow. And he's like, butterfly, that's a good place to start. Chaos, you all gonna die. You dead, and you get a volcano, and you get a volcano, and you get a volcano.
Oh man.
And I really want to see more stuff like that, but I know that's not coming. Just to, I want to follow up on what you said. I don't know if I'm enjoying this more than WandaVision, but I will say that it is head over heels, leaps and bounds easier to follow than WandaVision.
Okay.
I've noticed with a lot of modern TV, not just Marvel, but TV all the way across the board. Like I said, I'm getting old. I'm tired.
So I'm getting old.
Time. Yeah, I'm tired most of the time. So I want to watch a show and watch a show. I don't want to watch a show knowing that I have to watch it 8 more times to find out what was in frame 18 at 6 minutes and 14 seconds because it might have been foreshadowing episode 5,
I get you.
And WandaVision was big on. And this show, it says, all right, we know theory heads are going to be watching, but this is the story. Just look at the narrative. Yeah, if you are keen-eyed and this is your jam, look, we got Agent Carter in the back. Look, we got a poster over here. But you don't have to do that to keep up with it. So that is something that this show has. I think Falcon and Winter Soldier did it best so far.
And shouts to Shanita Summers. or Shanetta, I don't want to mess up your name. Said I kept falling asleep on WandaVision. Wow. There was some struggle episodes. But there's some struggle episodes on there because
I enjoyed the first half with all the classic TV references, but when it got to the Modern Family references, I'm like, okay, this is after I stopped watching TV. So, that's when I knew it wasn't for me. Well, it's like, they're not talking to me anymore. Like, I made it up to Malcolm in the Middle and Full House, and then that was about it. And I'm like, okay, so now I'm passing the torch to younger people, and that's what we're doing. But this show, the one thing I gotta say is, episode 2 had really good character moments. And all right, here comes the hot take. So y'all about to beat me up. All right, y'all about to beat me up. But episode 2, I liked a lot for the same reason that I liked season 2 of The Walking Dead. The story is cool, but some of us need a little more to get into characters other than and
season 2 of The Walking Dead. Oh,
that was all about character development. Like, who are these people and why do we care?
Man.
And episode 2 of Loki was, who are these people? What do they believe? Why do we care? And where's Loki really standing? Like, we know he's scheming. We know you scheming. Okay, you helping right now. And it's like that definitive Loki moment in episode 2, where they're at the Renaissance Fair, they're looking at the thing, and it's like, hold up, this is a trap. You go outside, y'all gonna die, because that's what I would do. And truth, I was like, I do believe him, but if he's lying, it's a good lie.
Yeah.
But why?
It's a believable lie.
Yeah, and it's like, and it's like, why is he lying? Oh, he's testing you. He's seeing what happens when the time runs out. Okay, all right, I get that. And I get it, because he's probing for information with people that are smarter than him.
Yeah, and maybe not even smarter than him, they just know more.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we get the line from, what is it? So, all right, Shanetta Summers. I hope all right, I said it right, so I hope I'm there. Shouts to Jenna James. Ghost MKC says, Owen Wilson, gasp. Wow. So,
I gotta, wrong word.
We
man.
get the line
I gotta
from,
get that.
What is it, Mobius or whatever, or Morbius? We get the line from him talking about, we've all been made from the timekeepers. They made all of us. They made all us, right? But then we get to old girl Sylvie, and
that's episode 3. Yeah, that's episode 3.
She nah.
No, they like us, bruh.
Nah,
they my wife.
They're variants. You know what I'm saying? Because when she's telling the story about the girl that she kidnapped, he's like, "Hold on, what you mean before?"
I was
like, because what I was told.
Yeah, I was wondering about that too. And major props to the writers for me, because I've seen Mind Control 100,000 times. And so many times when I see Mind Control on, say, Age of Ultron, any X-Men, anything. When they
Superman
show,
getting his mind controlled or whatever.
It's like, oh my God, there is somebody in my mind. It is more rare than not that you don't get to see what the mental, what the condition of the person being controlled is experiencing. So I'm watching this and I'm like, wait, I didn't quite recognize Sylvie because her hair was a little less blonde. So I'm like, okay, so I'm watching a couple of people. Oh, wait, isn't that chick? Isn't that chick that's like, I told her, oh no, I told her. And I'm like, oh, okay, they're just kicking back, having pina coladas. And then I'm like, oh, this is a meanwhile shot.
Yeah.
Like that scene in comic books where you see what's going on, but over it has the narration of
it's like during this time.
Yeah, and I really appreciate that.
The whole they know thing was cool to figure out later on.
Yeah, and I do gotta say, episode 3 Okay. Episode 3, this last Wednesday. There's a lot to talk about. The color palette, the one shot, the
Definitely.
choreography. But I want to start off with a plausible, I don't want to say fan theory, but fan discussion.
Oh, okay.
There's a question that is being asked of was the second half of the episode all a hallucination in Loki's mind? And here's the thing. When they get to that one shelter, she grabs him and tries to take over his mind. And he's like, what are you doing, bro? Nah, you ain't touching me. And it's like, well, I grab onto their minds, but with stronger minds, they're in there with you. So everything about that has a very, it has a very much like, maybe she succeeded, and the rest of the episode was her using that stuff to get the remote control off of the planet out of his pocket. But Loki's mind is so mischievous. It's like, oh, I pull it out of my back pocket and it's broke. Ha 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 ha. This is my nature. So
okay.
So it's I think it's plausible. But a couple of things came out in that I really, really like to hear. Like the TVA agents being variants. Okay? Because all y'all who've been watching NERDSoul regularly and weekly that haven't hit subscribe yet, slap that button, slap that subscribe button.
Go and subscribe, y'all. Shouts to Tyler Bennett. Tyler Bennett came through, said, what happened to the set? I'm in an undisclosed location right now. We're not in the normal set that we're normally at. As you can see, things are different, but it's all good. Same NERDSoul goodness.
Lil Ill Kid got into a rap beef with Eminem, so he's in witness protection right now. So he's hiding from 50 Cent.
Speaking of fan discussions and all that, what is it? Zeus came through and said Marvel Studios had a huge opportunity here to bring in Deadpool with this show, since his time device he is using after Deadpool 2 has him rewriting and altering timelines. It would make a great plot for Loki season 2 to have the TVA and Loki hunt down Deadpool across the multiverse to stop him from manipulating and disrupting time. I wouldn't be mad at that. I think that could be a reach, and I don't know the money they got, but I wouldn't be against it. I think that could end up taking the focus away from Loki, though.
I can't hold it anymore. I gotta disagree. I gotta say the Nano my Damie.
Nano my Damie?
That is the Nano my Damie. That is not the data time. Primarily because of this.
Why? Why are you hating on that? Why?
One, because I don't think that Deadpool is a good fit for the Marvel Universe right now, not the cinematic universe right now.
Okay.
They are just now touching on getting into some darker stuff. But the MCU is PG-13 territory. Why? Because they want your kids, they want my kids, and they want the Chinese kids. So
not the Chinese kids, though.
Especially the Chinese kids.
Well, China is a huge market for Hollywood films. So
it is the biggest market on the planet right now. That is where all the money comes in that allows them to make all the money from the Avengers, and then they can make three billboards. They can make a Ladybird after they get all that Avengers money in.
True.
So bringing in Deadpool to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, one, please don't at me negatively, but hit me up in the comments though.
I'm not mad about it.
I am not the biggest fan of Deadpool fans. Only because most of the Deadpool fans I know have him on this unbeatable pedestal. It's like, take a Batman fan, put them together with a Star Wars fan, and you got a Deadpool fan.
Man,
it's like
are Deadpool fans that bad? Are they?
Everyone that I know, every Deadpool fan that I know likes Deadpool because he's so unconventional and he cusses and he kills and nobody can beat him because he'll always heal him. And I'm like, yeah, prep time, I am the knight. I get it. I understand.
I will give you that. there's an energy around certain Deadpool fans where it's like, but I do think the character is great in in spurts. Like
I think he's great in medically controlled doses as well, or medically supervised controlled doses as well.
Like maybe a situation where he's a known variant, but they're like, let it go. Like they mention him or you see him, but they're like, just don't even.
Yeah.
Whatever.
See,
that could be cool. And so you get Ryan in for like one episode, and you know they start to kind of chase him down, and they get called in like, just don't even look, stop it. Just
now
it's not even. It's a waste of our time.
I honestly think
we just try to sweep up behind him and go on.
Yeah, I think a better cameo for that particular character would be in Spider-Man: No Way Home, since they're dealing with the Spider-Verse. Yeah, have him come in, be the guy that won't shut up even more than Spider-Man, and then he go. And it was like, who was that? You know, he don't have to unalive nobody. He just has to come in, talk a bunch of crap, do the ninja stuff, and then bail. And I'm good with that.
Well, like Spider-Man is going to have some issues with people thinking that he's well, I mean, people have said online, all you need is have a scroll come through, be Spider-Man real quick, and stand beside Peter Parker, and be like, "Yo, man, what's going down?" And he'd be like, "Oh," and then like the heat, the block ain't hot no more. So you know.
And that's probably what JJ on the moon, or what Nick Fury on the moon's going to do. But we're talking about Loki. We're talking about
Loki.
So back to Loki. Episode 3 was a really good dive into the Sylvie character. It reminds me of the first 5 minutes of watching Kingpin work in season 1 of Data. Not his whole history from season 3, but just the first 5 minutes where you're like, all right, this dude is cool. All right, let's deal with this dude.
How bad could he be?
You know, 2 years later. Oh my God. Yeah. And this particular adventure, the banter between the two is really good. And that's one of the reasons I also.
Them both getting shot at the doorway was good. I like that.
That was one of the best moments ever. Because it was like, I'm going to just kick the doorway. Oh, no, bad idea. And he's like, well, I'm going to just shape-shift and charm my way in. Hey, girl. I miss you, girl. Oh God, you don't talk to me like that. You don't never want to take that opportunity, man. You never know, man.
Yeah, well, that's a chance you don't want to take.
Yeah, I mean, it's that made me laugh a whole lot because one of my favorite moments in one of my favorite movies involves an old married couple like that, specifically Die Hard. Where Bruce Willis was like, or Bruce Willis, right? Bruce Willis, he had all the class in his feet, man. He had the class in his feet against Professor Snape, man. He's just like, yippee-ki-yay. But, he had the glass in his feet, and he's talking to Carl from Family Matters, and he's like, if I don't get out of this, tell my wife, she's heard me say I love you 1,000 times, but what she never heard me say was I'm sorry. You tell her I said I'm sorry. And that's one of those things where it's like, that's how she'll know that it's from him. So Loki pops up with I've missed you so much. I've done all that. Blam! That ain't my husband.
Beautiful or something. She was like,
my husband will show up to the door after getting shot, wanting grits and a foot rub. Who you trying to be? And
that's and a foot rub.
Tell me that don't sound good.
Shouts out to Jenna James. Jenna James says, hopefully we'll see Kang the Conqueror show up in this series. It would be pretty insane and unfortunate if this character doesn't make a cameo, at least before Ant-Man and the Wasp 3 Quantumania. Who knows? Blade ain't even coming out until 2023. They done pushed it back so far down the pipeline. I ain't worrying about the rating right now, but whenever the time comes, they better get that script right, no matter the rating.
Honestly, at this point, with the way they're pushing stuff back, I wouldn't be surprised if Mahershala Ali does not get the part anymore because it goes to Marlon Snipes, Wesley's great grandkid who is yet to be born, so I can pull a random name out of a hat.
It's never. I feel like, and I mean similar. I mean, what is it? Tyler Bennett said, at PG-13, how is Blade going to be made? It's going to be. It's hopefully we won't get a vampire movie with no teeth. I'll see myself out. I'll be here all week.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Anyway, back to Loki.
So I like the banter between the two and the relationship between the two characters. The talks about their moms.
Which
was good because remember, this is a didn't go through the dark world Loki.
Oh, yeah. Because he saw his mother die, but he didn't experience it.
Yeah. So, but if you look all the way back to Thor 1, he and his moms was always close. He and his mom was like, "Oh, you scam," where Odin was like, "I adopted you to stop a war. That is it. And now I shall have meat, or I will have liver with fava beans and meat. Crane, another, And but Frigga is just like, hey, my sons are my sons are my sons, and you my son. So there you go. So that moment where those two are eating, and I think the best moments of this show happens over breaking bread. Like if you have food and two characters in the same scene in the show, I think it's going to be pretty good. I got 3 more episodes to put that to the test. But the conversation where Loki figured out about the apocalypses and took the salad, and I gotta say, I keep saying I'm old, but I'm sitting up and I'm like, is that a Josta that Owen Wilson was drinking? I'm like, I ain't had Josta in 20 years. I like the one and but yeah, and in this one, they're eating, they're drinking, and he does the fireworks hands.
Stories, sort of.
Huh?
They're sharing stories, sort of, because Loki does make a point to say, like, hey, I'm telling you things and you're not telling me anything.
And she's like, oh, you caught that.
And then she also made a point about his plan. She's like, your plan isn't a plan. You just did a thing. Like you didn't. She was like, all right, the plan isn't. Your plan was like, okay, I'm gonna get on the train.
Yeah,
that's not a plan. Like the idea is to repower the temp pad, to charge it up.
Yeah,
you just got us on the train. That's like step 1. Get on the train.
That actually sounded.
Oh, what's that?
Step 3, profit. But that really reminded, like, it sounded to me like the writers were going, all right, look, y'all, writing is hard. All right, this is a story. All right, a story is technically Loki gets on a train. But why? To what end? What's the plan? What's the whole thing?
Loki sings on a train. Why?
Yeah.
What's going on? Why would they do that? I
ain't gonna lie. I was mad. I was real mad. Because I am very rarely jealous of actors, But Tom Hiddleston, when he's drinking and singing, and then he stops the room from singing, and he looks at her and starts singing, I'm like, you did not. He must have been listening to early Marvin Gaye, because Hiddleston ended up he went straight. I'm talking like straight to the Distant Lover era, like went right on to.
He was trying to put the game down,
bruh. I don't know I don't know where he hides stuff, but somewhere in that dimension has got to be swag, because he was like, singing with the bar. Yeah, you're sleeping. That's fine. I'm getting drunk. I'm partying. Oh, you up? Hey.
It's speaking of that. Since we're talking about getting your Mac on and all that stuff, there's been a slight controversy over episode 3.
Here we go.
People.
The real reason that you brought me on the show.
I didn't bring you on the show for this.
You might not think so, but if it's the controversy,
so apparently Loki is bi or whatever, and people are mad about it. I don't care. I don't see why people care that much. I don't know. Loki, I mean,
because the
He
loud
dabbles,
people
he
on the
dabbles in this
internet,
and dabbles in that. You know what I'm
look,
saying? I mean,
the loud people on the internet are opinionated, scared, and not well read. Yeah, I said it, and this is why. All right. These are comic book characters based on Norse mythology. All right.
yeah.
Norse mythology. This is important. The god Loki is the mother to Odin's six-legged horse. He turns himself into different animals. Those animals are multi-gendered. Even on the TVA folder for Loki in episode 1, it said his sex is fluid. He's a shape-shifting, otherworldly
Yeah, he
being.
can be whatever he wants to be, sort of.
The fact that it's only bisexual barely touches on the actual literature that there is out there for Loki. I mean, the dude, number one, Hela in mythology is his daughter. Number one. Number two, the dude turns into ducks and cows, and again, he gave birth to the six-legged horse that Odin rides. Six-legged horse. So not only does he turn himself into a horse, it's an alien horse. Okay,
it's kind of
ain't deal. Yeah, you know, so we're dealing with a god,
comics
from a
is
polytheistic thing.
Like,
this. Oh no, bro, this is mythology.
Well, yeah, mythology.
This is around the campfire stuff that the Vikings were telling each other. So,
it's weird.
So yeah, so
just let it flow.
That's I'm just saying that is the source material. In this one, they're just making him buy.
Yeah, and then Jenna James says,
now
peep this. Jenna James says, Miss Minute says a bit of both. Who else has said this same statement more than once? Loki. There's a Loki behind all of this with Miss Minutes as an avatar. Question mark?
That's fair, but again, the other person that said bit of both was Star-Lord. You know, at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy. So what are we gonna do? A little good, a little bad, a little both? You know, so
yeah, but
you know, it's a thing.
I don't know. It's I don't know. Something is telling me this whole reptile thing is BS. Bruh, and I think we're going to find out this reptile thing is not.
All right.
I think when the Wizard of Oz, when we pull back that curtain, I don't think it's going to be
like, how many people from Lovecraft Country is on this show? I'm right there with you, because the name of the judge, what is her name? I forget about.
I can't remember her. The actress is Gugu, but I can't think of her name. The character's name. Let us know in the chat.
In the comics, is literally Kang's Bay. It's his right hand operative and his love interest.
Well, okay. I think Zeus, I think it was you, Zeus, said, what if the TVA is a front for Kang? So that could be, that could be the jam. Kang be like, look, I got this.
Yeah.
This is all mine.
And the whole fact, like, it's possible that this is just all Kang screwing with Loki, Yeah. Because the TVA headquarters is really awesome, but it has no sky, almost like the quantum realm. And we saw his city in one of the Easter eggs. Thank you.
You're
Jenna
right.
James.
It is like they're in their own little weird bubble.
Yeah. So okay, Jenna James, major shout out, just said Ravonna Renslayer. Yeah, she is Kang's like either. Well, when it comes to a time traveler that goes from the end of time back to ancient Egypt, do you say ex-wife, future wife? Either way, those
just
two
regular
had a
old
thing.
wife.
Yeah, those two had a thing at some point, and she was like his Harley Quinn, as it were.
Okay.
So her being there with the time shenanigans and with the reveal that the TVA agents are variants. I've been saying since episode 1, these guys cinematically and art style scream villain. They scream bad guy. Okay.
Yeah.
They dress like freaking stormtroopers.
Well, that's because we generally hate the DMV whenever we have to go.
And that's another thing. We hate the DMV because of communism's biggest failure. The never-ending bureaucracy that there's no way around outside of just dying while waiting in line. So everything that they're doing, when you're in the TVA, it's all paperwork and procedure. And when they're out in the field, they act like every cop except 3 that's ever pulled me over. You know, they're pushing people aside. Like in episode 2, when they were in the storm shelter, you know, the TVA guys come in knocking people over, butt checking people, and they're like, look, these people are scared. They think they're about to die. Yeah, well, they're about to die. You know, I was waiting for one of them to be like, you trying to tell me how to do my job? Like, yeah, I'm a supervisor.
Like, well, yeah, like a little bit.
You know, so the fact that these guys act like evil minions, and you've got Ravonna.
Yeah, they do have their stormtrooper vibe going on.
Yeah. You know, so you've got the Will Riker for Kang the Conqueror, or a person with that same name. And comic books aren't known for giving 2 different, distinct, and opposite characters the same name. This is not really something you do in writing, because you know, because which one are we talking about? I don't know. Then the reader's confused. They put that book. So it goes
Daft Punk Troopers. Wow.
Around the world, around. Anyway, but yeah, you know, so everything about them is screaming bad guys, from the bureaucracy to the stormtroopers to the tactics. And the number one person that you're dealing with is like, oh, they are paying special attention to this case. Yeah, true. That is it.
And then when you get to Sylvie, the one that's like, you know, we gotta get Loki to stop her because everybody gotta stop her. She doesn't really seem that crazy.
Exactly.
So you know, she doesn't seem like this bloodthirsty, crazy person.
No, she's on a mission.
So then it's like, okay, is there some validity to what she's talking about?
Yeah, exactly. And given everything that we have seen so far, I'm like, I know Loki is the god of mischief, but Sylvie, new identity of Loki, she good, because I'm not finding any holes in what she's doing. And I'm looking hard. I'm looking really hard.
Now, shouts out to Marcus Hughes up in the chat, said, this show is so fillerish and random. Now, do you like it because of that? Or do you dislike it because of that? And what are some examples of your randomness and fillerishness? Because I would say, to a certain degree, the plot is moving forward. I'd say 2 of 3 episodes move the plot forward, and the one episode that doesn't dives into what the people actually want. But let me know. Let me know, Marcus. If I could call you Marcus.
Well, I will say, Mr. Hughes, I would like to know whether or not that's a good or bad thing, because I'm not seeing filler. What I'm seeing is definitely character development. We're officially halfway through the show. Yeah. So we're halfway through the show, and we only got the reveal of the villain and what they might be doing at the 1/3 mark. So we're halfway through, and we needed the episode to get to know this villain, to see whether or not they're a threat. Because if we didn't, we would fall into the same MCU problem of Obadiah Stane and Abomination, and essentially look, it's a different aspect of the main character who's evil, and they fight at the end.
Oh, you mean like Shang-Chi? Because in the trailer, it looks like we're getting the mirror villain again.
Well,
now, in this case, the mirror villain is your daddy, but that's shot in the trailer, which we pretty much know is from the end of the movie where both of them have rings. It's the mirror.
And you know what? I'll allow that, because that goes like Well, that goes back to
Because you did throw some daddy issues into it.
you threw a lot of daddy issues in
We'll
there.
talk
Like,
about Shang-Chi a little bit after this
I was
show.
about to say we're gonna talk about that.
After we close off episode 3, we'll get to Shang-Chi.
All right, yeah. So, but yeah, so I like the character development. I like, if not seeing Sylvie's motivations, which I still don't trust. I liked getting a little more development, seeing that it's not like whoop whoop woo, I'm just random, or mustache twirling bad guy.
Mustache twirling.
You know, I'm evil because I'm evil. You know, we get the. I don't really like the way that this stuff is going on. I don't buy the multiverse goes into war. Because one of the things that I had to stop and think about when I heard their narrative is there were multiverses, and then they went to war with each other and recreated one thing, one sacred timeline. And I'm like, if there are multiple universes, what is the guarantee that war is going to come out? And this is coming from the dude that read both Secret Wars, all the Crisis on Infinite, everything DC.
Oh man, so many crises.
And the metal. Well, the big thing is like you got all of these, this whole multiverse theory, but they're pushing this thing of there was a war once between the multiverse that destroyed everything or almost destroyed everything. So we destroyed all of them and set one. Now, I learned a long time ago in my writing classes that the biggest thing that makes a good guy the good guy is that they try to save everybody. And they don't commit massive genocide on an eventuality. You know, that's bad guy stuff. You know?
Good point.
And so, yeah, it's again, I've got 100 reasons not to trust the TVA. Now,
TVA
I will say
is not to be trusted.
I will not be shocked or surprised if it turns out that Kang is the one behind all this. But there's another villain in Marvel Comics.
Oh, Mephisto? No.
There's one villain in Marvel Comics that's known, especially throughout his fan base, and yes, it is a few, for going, oh, multiverses are doing this. Well, let me just make one. And this is the big bad from two major, technically 3 crossover events.
Okay.
So, and if they go this route, I will be giddy. I will literally, like the next time I'm on this show, I'm like, because you know who the villain that destroys multiverses to make one multiverse or one universe in their image, and that's about order that they ultimately control.
Who is that?
Doom. Dr. Doom.
If
Dr. Doom is the head of the TVA, I will be doing my happy dance everywhere. You know?
If it's what is it, like God Doom or whatever? If it's like God Doom or whatever, then I'd be like, oh snap. Now, Eon 001, nice to see you. You know what I'm saying, across that pond. Said that story is BS. The TVA are lying. They're protecting their own timeline. I think the multiverse still exists. They're just shielding themselves. That's the twist. So yeah, because I'm starting now that we've gotten to episode 3. I'm like, yeah, like my grandma would say, there's a lie somewhere. I don't know where it is, but we gonna find out. Somebody up in here lying.
Fair.
Because
that's fair.
Now we've chilled with Sylvie for a whole episode, and she doesn't seem like this crazy, bloodthirsty person. So something ain't right.
Yeah. Now I'm very much looking forward to the next episode, because I get why people would think that episode 3 was filler. Okay, seriously, because the way that episode 2 ended, it was she broke everything, you know. She kind of pulled a Bane from Dark Knight Rises. You know, I have
Mm.
opened up all of the prisons. Take the timeline. It is yours. You know, and then we leave that. Is that what she said? To now we're just following those two running from a bunch of rocks in the sky. You know,
Yeah.
so I see where that would be filler, but that's not filler as much as that is just a excuse me, a commitment to following the titular character. You know.
Okay.
Um
Now, Veli Superb, hope I don't
mhm.
screw your name up, but said, I don't dislike the show, but I haven't seen what made Marvel give the head writer Doctor Strange 2. With how Marvel said they snatched him up quick to write DS2, I was expecting to be blown away by the show.
Okay. All right,
So
that's a really good point, a really good thing.
yeah,
Here's the thing. Scott Derrickson, the writer of Doctor Strange 1 and the first writer on Doctor Strange 2, is great. Okay, he is great. He's actually one of the writers. He and Cargill. They wrote one of my favorite of the new horror movies that are out there with Insidious.
Why do you have to say horror?
Okay, my standard for horror
Horror.
movies is The Exorcist, The Thing, and Halloween. So that's my gold standard. And when you look at The Exorcist and then you look at The Conjuring, you'll be doing finger quotes too, bro.
Well, okay, I've watched the whole Conjuring, and you know what? We should do the Conjuring because I watched all the Conjuring like in a week. I watched the whole universe, and actually, the funny thing is, Warner Brothers made a whole universe while nobody was looking.
That's true. That's true. Like, that is worth a show.
I'm like, look at
like,
y'all
oh man, Warner Brothers can't make an expanded universe with DC. You can't
I'm like, y'all got a whole universe with two people running around stopping demons.
I mean, Harry Potter was good for 8 movies.
And they got the Fantastic Beasts. You know what I'm saying? They got
we don't
that
really
too.
Talk about that. we don't
I mean, I haven't watched it, but I mean, I know Harry Potter people. You know, it's for them. You know what I'm saying? They love it. I hope.
No, not really. They were happy it came out.
Nah,
then came Crimes of Grindelwald, and they're like,
"Oh,
I'm feeling 1998 Star Wars all over again." You know, but yeah,
you know what, Zeus? With the horror-centric stream, I'll do one. It's hard for me to watch horror now because you know the little guys around and like trying to find time to watch something. But I did watch. I had never watched Conjuring. I watched all the Conjuring. So you know what? I will do one. Solar, and maybe like Chauncey or something like that.
This is what Chauncey would be perfect for this.
Yeah, CKR, she's dope, man.
And you know what? Hit her up because she will back me on this. Now that you are an adult man who's had some life experience and a film critic, so you know what you're looking at.
Yeah.
Watch The Exorcist again.
Okay, because I remember when I was younger, I watched it and I was like, this movie's long. Like this only thing I was just like, this movie is long. It is very long. And I rewatched Poltergeist before we get back to Loki. I rewatched Poltergeist, and when I was young, I did not realize how long that girl was gone. That girl was gone like a month, son.
Yeah.
Yo, that girl was gone for a minute. Like, yo, where are your parental skills, B? I'm just saying.
And by the way,
she was gone for a minute.
You brought up another one that's on my list of horror, but I was talking about Derrickson and C. Robert Cargill.
Yeah.
As far as the writers of Doctor Strange 2, and of course Insidious with God and all that stuff.
All right.
But if they want to go in a different direction with the multiverse of madness, that's one of the things that Marvel is notorious for. They switch up directors and writers almost from movie to movie. You know, because between, I forgot the name of the director, he also did The Rocketeer for Captain America, the First Avenger, and then bringing on the Russo brothers for Civil War. That was brilliant. From Kenneth Branagh in Thor 1 to Taika Waititi in Ragnarok. Again, they change up stuff when they want a different thing. So when
Okay.
it comes to the different writers, that's just the stuff they do. That's part of the business. You know, that's just, you know, we're going in this direction. Don't give it away, Zias. Don't give it away. Spoilers.
Like, I know where you at.
So, yeah, that, and you see, you would be able to avoid this if you had a sponsorship from Surfshark. With Surfshark, you got never mind.
Surfshark allows you to essentially Surfshark allows you to download movies without getting an email from your ISP and watch Netflix like you in Canada or something like that. That's what Surfshark does. It doesn't do anything else. Well, I mean, it does do other things.
Yeah,
but
I'm gonna say this. I got it a couple of days ago, and I turned on my Disney Plus as though I was in Australia. The first thing that popped up was gargoyles. I'm like, money well spent. That's just what I'm saying. And I was finally able to watch this episode of Rick and Morty. So that was cool. Yeah. So
good one.
But anyway, so you know, changing up the writers is good. Now Marvel is starting to go darker. Okay, and I'm liking the darker direction that they're going. And this next episode, okay, since we're past the halfway point, according to Scott Snyder, we've already broken into two. You know, you know, so we're past that point. So now we're about to hit the all is lost moment in the long dark time of the soul, which I'm fine with that. I'm totally fine with that. But according to interviews, episodes 4 and 5 are going to be fascinating. You know.
Yeah, because we only have 3 more episodes, so approximately 3 hours. So, you know, maybe 2 movies if they're short.
Marvel's been doing the last 2 episodes in like 90 minutes and 2 hours since, you know.
Yeah, so we got approximately maybe 3 to 4 hours left of TV.
Right.
So they're gonna have to wrap it up quick, especially after the way they ended this particular episode.
Yeah.
So, and Ghost MKC said 4 and 5 are supposed to be litty, so that's true. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Shout out to Zias. I'm right there with you. I'm right out. Yeah, Zias Bilou. You know.
Nice. So with that said, we've exhausted all those possibilities on that. Get Loki out of the way. Loki out your head. Bam. Loki's gone.
Okay. Loki gone.
Talk about Shang-Chi for a couple minutes.
All right. Number 1,
I've noticed.
I am impressed. I'm very impressed that they found a creative way to do the 10 rings.
Okay.
How can I put it? For those of y'all that haven't been reading the comics for as long as I have, the Mandarin is a hard villain to do because he came out during the red and yellow scare. So he had
the full like Fu Manchu.
Exactly. He was
homie had jewels though, son.
Exactly.
Homie had jewels like Ghostface. Yeah. I will say that.
Bro, he was just like, what?
Homie had more jewels than Ghostface though.
Now, he had as many jewels as Jordan. He's sitting there going, boom, boom, Jordan, Johnson, Kareem, right here, you know. But yeah, the fact of the matter is he was bad because he was Chinese. That was it.
Yeah, and he was basically a Chinese guy, and that's why it was bad.
Yeah, he was a Chinese industrialist. Ooh. Yeah. But it was the 1950s, and Tony Stark was based on Howard Hughes. So Google it, do the math. But the fact that they are using the Hungar strength wings, I'm like, okay. All right, they know that their fans are Avatar: The Last Airbender fans, and that is a good way to do the rings. That is a really good way to do it. Especially since we just did the Infinity Stones, and right before that we did Lord of the Rings. So I'm like, okay, how are they going to do the Mandarin of all people? And things I'm impressed with on Shang-Chi. Good job with the rings. Good job with the bracelets.
Yeah, the rings are dope.
It's very Chinese culture. So I'm with it. All right. Cool. Second, is it just me? Or did Marvel, from Kevin Feige all the way down to the caterer, get on the internet for 2 years and read everything everybody said about Iron Fist and said, okay, we got you. All right, we know what to do from here. We know what to do from here. Real martial artist, check.
Yeah.
Little bit of comedy, check. Oh yeah, we talked a lot about a dragon in Iron Fist, didn't we? Yeah. All right, let's show a dragon. Is it Pink
Eon
Panther?
001 said. Eon 001 said, I made the mistake of watching Grace Randolph's reaction to the Shang-Chi trailer. No comment.
Dude,
I don't got time. I don't got time.
I haven't
but
seen
no
it.
comment.
Two, I ain't got a problem or beef with Grace.
I
I
got like a little baby beef with, but it's not enough. It don't matter.
Yeah,
it don't matter enough.
I'm fine with her, and I haven't seen it. So
yeah, I don't know her personally. It's just other stuff, but it's not
talking about the work. Yeah.
The work.
But speaking of other YouTubers, I watched the Weekly Planet, the two funny Australian dudes that talk about all this stuff. And I remember hearing James whine like one of the third graders he used to teach when he was a teacher, going, "They said he put his fist in a dragon. I want to see a dragon. I want to see a dragon." And Shang-Chi is like, "You remember when you want to see a dragon in that Netflix show that we don't talk about? Look, here's a dragon." So I'm looking at this whole thing and I'm going, if nothing else, Shang-Chi is going to be an apology.
I'll say this. Yeah. This is Shang-Chi. So I've seen the trailer and it looks promising. But these fight scenes better be on point. With shows like Warrior, with movies like The Raid,
I'm good.
The fights better be on point. I'm just saying, don't be doing a whole bunch of cuts like Chris Nolan and we know can't nobody in there fight. I'm just saying, y'all better come with it.
Now,
I'm saying.
One, they got Michelle Yeoh. And if
Michelle
Yeoh is going to do a fight scene, then it's going to be in the Hong Kong style. So we're talking one camera, wide angle, to quote Jackie Chan. So I'm looking to see a bunch more House of a Thousand Daggers, flying, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon types.
Yeah. That fight scene in Crouching Tiger when they're in the weapons room is still A1. Like, I'm
all about the bamboo shoots. That was me.
Like
that was me.
Because when she came in with the sword, and she's like, "Look, you're only good because of the sword. Like if you didn't have the sword, you'd suck." And like the girl was fighting, and she showed proficiency in like every weapon in there.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
I noticed Marvel. Guess what I noticed, Marvel? I noticed your girl Aquafina won in this trailer like that.
Right.
I noticed that. I noticed you cooled her off a little bit.
Yeah, because that first trailer was like, oh, it's Aquafina.
We were like,
isn't she crazy rich by now? And then the second one is like,
dang. We got to see her face again.
Early. Okay, to the point we were addressing earlier. Yes, it is gonna be.
I didn't even know she was in it. When I saw her face, I was like,
yeah.
I really don't want to see this movie now. I was like, but I got to see this movie because I know they're going to do something in this movie that I'm gonna have to know for something else. So now I got to suffer through, because when we saw the teaser with Aquafina, it's like she gonna be all through this joint, dropping all kinds of whack jokes, and then I'm gonna have to think about how she used the denigration of my culture and my people to get on, and then turn around and act like she never did it. And now I'm gonna just have to sit with it. But in this trailer, you did help me forget about it. We barely saw her. She was in like one baby part. There was like, all right, you know what? Aquafina, you kind of hot right now. We thought people forgot, but they didn't. So what we gonna do is back you up a little bit on the next trailer. We're gonna back you up.
You know what?
Here's your check. We're gonna let the boy shine.
Here's your checks. Oh, and talking about things that can be cut. Where's the editor? And that's, that fight scene about the mirroring villain and the thing. I'm gonna let that slide with Shang-Chi because they made it clear from the beginning of the first trailer. Daddy is bad and he's just trying to move out.
I do like the part where he was like, "You ain't nothing but a criminal and thief or something." He was like, "You better watch how you talk to me, boy." I was like, "No, that's a real daddy. That's a real daddy.
That's not just a real daddy.
You better watch your mouth, boy.
Color. That's a daddy of color.
Because
I don't care.
Every young man has that moment where they think they can jump up on their dad. Because they're like,
exactly.
Dad is old.
Exactly.
Dad don't know nothing, and Dad is old. And then Dad look over at you and be like, look, I'll kill you in here. You keep on playing with me.
And then I get back with your mother and make another one that look just like you. Test me, boy. You know?
Test me if you want.
I mean, seriously. Because look, there's a reason that black kids call their fathers pops. You know, pop,
yeah.
But you know, and that is universal. That really is. And Marvel's done all right about that too. Because I remember Thor 1. You're an old man and a fool, boy. Give me that thing. Get out of my house. You know, and you ain't got no power. Yeah, exactly. You know.
But
so
Abomination.
One, it's just like, you know. Well, I wanna get back on the dad thing real quick.
Oh yeah.
Because his dad was like, you tried getting out of here, and I allowed it. I let you try and do your own thing for 10 years, and you're a valet? Not my boy. You coming home, you're going to be crazy rich, you're going to be doing this.
You're going to be crazy rich and Asian. Part 2. Yeah. No,
and you know what? I'm a criminal, but you won't saying that when you were eating that big old punch bowl full of Cheerios when you was 8, so shut your mouth.
You won't mad at this blood money when you was using that hot water, that soap, wearing them fresh new clothes, this mansion you was living in, eating steaks and bacon wrapped filet mignon. You won't mad at the blood money then. All right. And don't be mad now. You all up on your high horse after you done spent up all the money now. You done had all the best training. You done had all the best training, the best tutors. They had the best life. Now, I'm gonna go off on my own. Now all of a sudden I'm blind to the crime. No, all right. This is what we do.
Oh. And by the way,
plot twist, the dad isn't a bad guy. The dad did what he had to do to make sure the family had money. You know what I'm saying? Why y'all trying to call? I'm just trying to make money to feed my daughter. You know what I'm saying?
No, we'll see on it. Hopefully it'll be like, plot twist. Yeah, dad's a bad guy because he didn't want to get eaten by a dragon. But by the way, Ghost MKC, you wrong. You wrong.
What do you say?
Shang-Chi and the Legends of the 10 Fit Bits.
Not the 10 Fitbits, no.
You know what? You can make fun of that all you want, because if they was around, they'd be getting their steps in all up on your face. You know?
And Eon 001 said they need to backdoor Iron Fist into this, even if they just mention Kunlun. If they do, just leave.
If they mention Kunlun, I'm good.
Just leave. Just leave your boy out.
If they mention something about Madame Gao, I'm good.
Tyler Bennett said, y'all talking about Justin Richburg and Tyler Perry. Yo, I don't know if that's his son or not. I don't know. It's like people be saying it's his kid, and he be saying, but Tyler Perry be like, I don't know this kid. So I don't know. I don't know what's true. You know what I'm saying? We need to get them both in the same room and be like, look, the results said, you are the father. Like we need to figure out who is Tyler Perry's kid.
See, now I'm on a terrible tangent because now all I'm seeing is Shang-Chi and the Legend of the 10 dark-skinned black men.
Oh man. But yeah, it's
Shang-Chi and the 10 rings from Law and Order. You know?
Plot twist: Shang-Chi is an undeserving child that doesn't respect the work that his dad put in to make sure that food stayed in his mama and his mouth. All right, you know what I'm saying?
That sounded pretty specific, bro. You all right?
Plot twist: mad at all the days your dad was up on the block hustling with 10 rings, trying to make sure there was food in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Do you think it's easy to be the Mandarin? Do you think it's easy? People always want to come at the throne. All right.
You know, last I checked, this was the MCU, not the Wire.
If it's a lie, we fight on that lie. You know what I'm saying? You always wanted to be one way. The Wire has so many references.
Yeah, somebody asked a little bit earlier about the Punisher coming into the MCU, and I'm like, this ain't the Wire. We don't need Omar.
Man, if the Punisher came into the MCU, where would we put him? We could put him aside, like, well, no, because Black Widow did. So Yeah, Falcon.
Yeah,
Falcon, Winter
or
Soldier.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man-ish. Because
The
that
stuff
fool
that's
done been to
not.
space. All right, that fool done been to space.
He's been to space, and he's going dimensions, but
Like, fool,
when
you
it
been to
comes to
space.
when it comes to bringing in the Punisher is what's going on down the block. Maybe in Hawkeye, I could see him popping up in the Hawkeye movie. I can even see him popping up in Ant-Man for a hot minute.
Okay, maybe.
So
know.
you got it. Punisher is like, I ain't gonna call him king of street level, but he's street level.
He's the Punisher. The Punisher, yeah, he's definitely street level. But the thing is, he gets into stuff that kind of raises him a little bit above street level sometimes, depending on who he kills. But Jenna James says, really like how everyone is excited for another Marvel movie. Am I the only one who sees these rings, not rings at all, waiting for Mandarin to show up? I guess show up and show us hands with each ring on each finger or something like that. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. So you're
thinking it's another fake out?
Could be. You know what I'm saying? But plot twist. You know what I'm saying? Michelle Yeoh. You know what I'm saying? She doing the right thing, saying like, look, yeah, I'm your mama, but also that is your daddy. All right. So
that might be true.
She was like, that is your daddy. All right. Don't be. Look, remember when you was born and you had messed up teeth? Who paid for those? Who paid for those braces? All right. Your daddy's blood money. All right. Now you walking around here with good teeth. All right. Now look at you. Everything you done learned. You got the best training.
Starting to get pretty personal, bro.
Look, you know what? Somebody needs to stand up for the fathers in the MCU. And by golly, I'ma do it.
You know what?
Thanos was just trying to help out. Thanos was trying to help y'all. Y'all ain't want to listen.
There's one dad that's coming to the MCU, and everybody is talking about how much they want him there. So it's going to be a different thing. And
Tyler, I ain't messing with you ever no more.
I don't get the reference, but okay.
Oh man. Oh.
But yeah, so Reed Richards is coming, and he's got the toughest job as a father. Or second, actually no, I gotta say he's an all right dad as far as.
But does he have a tough job as a father? Because his kid is like what, the top 3 powerful mutants in
yes.
Is it hard to be his dad? It's not. It's like
yes.
Like when when my kid grows up, I gotta be like, oh man, police brutality. What might happen to my son? If he got his powers, I'm like, go ahead, do what you gotta do.
I'm gonna say this one thing.
He gonna hit you with them Neo styles.
No,
you try to shoot him, he's gonna be like.
A child who has Franklin Richards' powers. Now I want you to think back to when you were 11. And you looked at your parents, your mama or your daddy, and you said, man, you never let me do anything. I hate you. What would you have done if you had those powers at that age?
Yeah, that's true. You do need somebody like temper that, you know what I'm saying? You need somebody to temper
great that. But yeah, so that's why it's hard for Reed Richards to be a father. Because his dad has his son has one temper tantrum, and it's new universe.
Yeah.
And where he can go to the park, in which he can have ice cream, in which he can have waffles for dinner.
Oh, because NERDSoul Light be wanting cookies for breakfast, y'all. I'm just letting y'all know that.
Bruh?
NERDSoul Light be wanting cookies for breakfast. He be waking up like
cookies. Imagine if NERDSoul Light had Franklin Richards' power. That's what I'm saying. And this is coming from somebody that knows Reed Richards is a villain. All right. He is a bad guy. But as far as being
is he a bad guy, or is he just like dangerously aloof?
He is more concerned with solving a problem than he is with saving people.
True that.
Again, the Ultimate Universe made it very clear that if he did not have the best wife in all of comic books, he would destroy the multiverse.
Now, all right. Shouts to Jenna James. Zia says Abomination comes in and steals all the hype from Shang-Chi, the big old bastard. And then Jenna James says, this looks pretty freaking epic. We may have a contender for the best origin movie right here. So crazy. Tony Leung is in this. So Abomination, someone who I've been wanting to see again for years. Because we got him, we arrested him, we put him away in the raft. All right.
We ain't seen him for like 13 years.
We ain't seen him for a minute. He ain't been doing nothing but push-ups. You know what I'm saying? He ain't been in the yard. Push-ups.
Growing out them fins,
Just living it up. Sharpening them fins. You know what I'm saying? Living it up. Straight up jail style. Then I guess half of the people got snapped away. Maybe it was during lunch or something. Mess hall. And he was able to get free. You know what I'm saying? Busted out the top. Swam away or something. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Now, he doing cage matches.
With Wang.
I'm happy to see him. But wouldn't he want to keep it on the low-low?
No.
But maybe when you're like 9 feet tall and green, I guess there's only so much low-low you can keep. So maybe he's doing the best thing he can do. Just go do an underground fight club. Because you can't do nothing else. It's not like he can get a job at Target. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I mean, boys got
UPS is hiring.
All right. So can you imagine, you go to Best Buy and there's Abomination and Geek Squad t-shirt. That ain't gonna fly.
Yeah, like you ain't like say if you want to bring something back because it was messed up, or say he's working at Wendy's or something, right? And you like, yo, you messed up my order. And he's like, excuse me?
Chili. I didn't want a salad.
It's like, oh no, my order's fine, man. It's fine. It's all right. It's cool.
Yeah, exactly. Matter of fact, keep the change. You paid with 100. Yeah.
Ghost MKC says shop smart, S smart.
Shop S smart. Yeah.
Shop S smart. Oh man. But yeah, so Abomination, I'm glad to see that. I'm probably more excited to see him than anything else right now in this movie. But
I'm excited to see a dragon.
It's because the dragon is going to be cool too. But it's just that I've been waiting to see Abomination for so long because Abomination is he's a threat that's like medium to like high level threat. He's not like universal threat, but he's medium to high level threat where he can definitely take some hits. And he's extremely dangerous because you're looking at a guy who's had like hardcore top, spec ops military training.
Exactly.
Plus the strength of the Hulk.
Yeah.
So
and when you team him up with Red Hulk, that is a terrifying scenario.
Yeah.
That really is. You got
and we're gonna need the real Hulk to come back, not the Hulk that looked like he about to put out an R&B album. All right. We need a real Hulk. All right. People are talking about maybe Cho, maybe Amadeus Cho or something like that, but we're gonna need a real Hulk. I'm just saying.
I'm so on the fence because the Hulk is so hard to make a movie for.
Yeah. I guess.
Because Immortal Hulk would be great. Monster Saber Hulk would be great. But
all of those stories are very
Banner Central.
They don't
action movies.
Yeah, and they don't really bring in anyone else. Like Immortal Hulk is a great story. I mean, the opportunity for a World Breaker Hulk, a World War Hulk is over. So that's not going to happen. So I don't know. Because, I mean, World War Hulk could have been dope. But the only thing is the way the MCU is set up, it wouldn't be the same. But Immortal Hulk could be great. It's just that it's a very Banner. It's him. There's no like other special. I mean, there are cameos, but there aren't like. It's not like something where you can like get everybody, involved. You know what I'm saying? But maybe that's a good thing. Maybe we do need a Hulk movie where it's just like Immortal Hulk, where it's like, hey, I'm on my own thing. It's just like it's me. weird scientists, government stuff going on,
Yeah.
and heaven and hell and stuff and extra stuff.
Like I said, I like Hulk as a monster protector, as a world traipsing, like, whoa, leave the Sasquatch alone. Whoa, leave this urban myth alone. That's kind of cool. But yeah, with the interesting thing that I'm noticing is the way that they're gearing up in this phase of Marvel. Now that we're done with Thanos, it looks like they're gearing up for systemic evil. You know, they've been hitting at Roxxon. They brought in AIM. Now we're looking at the Ten Rings organization. And it sounds like, or y'all avid comic fans out there, back me up on this. But does it seem to me like they're building up the Thunderbolts and Dark Lady? You know, it really seems like, hey, bad guys are now going to take over shit. Like, I don't see them doing Hydra Cat. I don't see them doing it.
Okay.
But I definitely see them doing something like Dark Lady, like Avengers Disassembled, like something like the Cabal, you know.
I get you.
Because they brought in advanced idea mechanics to be against Iron Man, which means maybe one day we'll get our big-headed floating diaper boy.
Wow.
You know, well, come on, man. What was it? Molecular organism designed only for killing? Come on. I'm sorry, mechanical organism designed only for killing.
They can keep that on Hulu. I don't think we'll let that slide.
But they have introduced Zemo and showed us that Zemo is a threat. And we love him for that. So now we need Moondragon. And maybe they'll introduce the Beetle in No Way Home so that we'll get that Thunderbirds lineup. You know?
Yeah, I can see, because those people are out there. So I think I would like to see that. I would like to see Thunderbolts, and maybe present it in a way where we don't need anyone but them, and then kind of see how that plays out in the public, the MCU public eye. And then what our normal heroes do with it.
Yeah, I think they've already started. I mean, with the whole Julie Marie Dreyfus character.
Oh yeah.
At the end of Falcon Winter Soldier, like, no, I got some work for you over here. And
I got things
we've already established Thunderbolt Ross. Maybe we'll get a Red Hulk with that too. Who knows? That would be a good Hulk movie. Would be Hulk versus Red Hulk. And, you know, it could be a character piece, it could be an action movie, it could be a detective story, it could be a lot of things. And it will have the great big fight of the mirror image bad guy and all that other stuff. Like, you know, there's that Marvel thing. So.
Tyler Bennett said, why the little purple-headed floaty dude on Hulu isn't getting no smoke? I just don't like it. I'll just leave it at that. I don't like it. I wasn't impressed with it.
It's funny as far as sitcoms go, but it's still a sitcom.
It's not.
What it really is it.
This is like the stuff that wasn't good enough to make it on Robot Chicken.
No, it's Robot Chicken gets their own shit, and I'm just kind of going, yeah. Okay, let's see. Ooh, Jimmy James has a lot of stuff here.
So, with that said, we have exhausted, exemplified, exhumed, and exorcised all the demons, even Valak. So, with that said, I'm going to throw it on over here. Solar, tell them where they can find you.
Well, you guys can find me over on my channel at Back in the Deck. Just type in Solar Gray on YouTube. Everything else is on hiatus for a little while because I'm doing massive improvement to the Wizards.
Massive changes.
Massive changes. We're coming back and we're going to hit it hard. There's even going to be puppets. But in the meantime, Wizards don't mess around. But you can check out the stuff on the YouTube channel. I'm going to be posting a little more regularly. You can also hit me up on Twitter at Back in the Deck. That's at BACKINTAGBECK. On Twitter, you can hit me up, send me an email if you want to at me and not engage with this channel, which you should be really talking to me about in the comments and hitting those thumbs ups and thumbs down, you know, because we still gotta fight with the algorithm. But we have to and you can hit me up at back in the deck at gmail.com. It's BACKINTAGBECK@gmail.com. Instagram, Twitter, all that other stuff. Back in the Deck. Hit me up. Shout out. Send some support. We talk about games. We talk about LGBTQ stuff. We talk about nerd culture from the standpoint of people that aren't middle class white dudes. So, because there's a lot of us out there, and we read. Like I said, we're doing major upgrades because I've moved the Wizard's Tower back to one of the original hoods. We were back in the community, and we're doing a whole bunch of stuff. So there's going to be a lot of stuff coming out for this year. It's going to be big. It's going to be big. So thank you for calling me out for this, man. Seriously, because
yes,
you know, I love being on camera with you, but I love talking with you more than anything else. Like, you know.
Of course.
So yeah.
But of course, guys, NERDSoul, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all them places. Hit the thumbs up if you like what you see. Hit the thumbs down if you don't. You hit that thumbs down, I'm gonna send Abomination after you. I do tear up your whole house, eat all your food. Just
nah. You know what? If you don't subscribe, I'm gonna use all the magic I can to get an Iron Fist season 3.
Oh no!
How's that?
But the thing is, now that he's not whiny anymore, season 3 might not be that bad.
Bro,
I'm not saying it'll be that great.
Subscribers.
I'm not saying it'll be that great. I wouldn't put any hope in it, but at least he's past the whiny period. You know what I mean?
All right, fine.
And hopefully we won't see any more of what was the friends that he had when they killed their daddy or something? I can't remember what.
Tell you what. If you don't subscribe, we'll get Tyler Perry to direct Luke Cage season 3. All right.
Oh no! And all the wigs. Oh man! So we out. Look,
Luke Cage gonna go to church.
Spotify for music, all that stuff. We're gonna leave y'all with PL and Arcatron. So from us to you, we're saying thank you for watching, and of course, peace.
See you.
We out.
I'm the man, yes sir, that killed the bear barehanded so the people won't forget it. Getting money for I would label the drink. I care what a broke nigga think.
Just like the Pack and Lewis.
Look, everything I do so cold. I can do this, both eyes closed. Too short, I stay on my toes. About that white boy, anything goes. Help the bear if we outside. Help the bear if we outside. Still tipping, baby, nothing changed. I'm still grinding over here, yeah. Still sliding through my own lane. Shorty, nothing funny over here. Dallas rain everywhere around me. Dream to get money. Made it through the storm, living sunny. Dreams came true, now we eating. I got more dreams to chase, gotta reach them. Trying to put a team together like the Hunger Games. Everybody grind together, we all came from Hunger Games.